Our movie begins with a girl who looks like she has been beaten all across the city. She is out of breath, running through the streets and screaming for help, but strangely, no one even looks at her. Nobody helps, and not a single person asks what is wrong. She keeps running until she finally collapses to the ground. She is in a place full of playgrounds and rides, and suddenly all the children there begin walking toward her. Then she is thrown onto one of the rides, and after that, she sees nothing but light. And after all that chaos, we can safely say goodbye to her. A few days later, we meet a girl named Sasha. She is on her way to a new job in a place called Boral Grove, a rich gated community where only wealthy people live. On the way, she talks to her father, who encourages her and tells her that if her mother were still alive, she would be very proud of her. He also reminds her that he packed her favorite candy in case she gets nervous and needs something to calm down. Then Sasha rides with her brother Marco and his friend, and they keep teasing her because she is going to work as a nanny for rich people. They tell her not to panic and not to start pulling her hair right away, because rich kids are always spoiled. But Sasha does not care about what they say, because not everyone gets a chance to work in a place like this. When they arrive, they are all surprised by how many playgrounds and attractions are everywhere. Before leaving, Marco tells her to be careful because he works nearby in the gardens around the neighborhood. Then, his friend jokes around and starts honking the car horn, making Sasha yell at him and say that rich people here probably do not even own horns. Before Sasha can even knock, the front door opens by itself, and Zelly's mother welcomes her so warmly that she almost hugs her to death. She introduces Sasha to her daughter Zelly and starts listing everything the girl likes, while Sasha quickly writes everything down so she will not forget. Zelly's mother tells her that she already seems much better than the previous nanny, then warns her that Zelly must never leave the house. Before she leaves, Sasha notices a graduation photo and realizes that Zelly's mother graduated from the exact same university Sasha dreams of attending. The woman explains that she studied medicine but had to put her education on hold because college was too expensive. Then she tells Sasha that she has a close friend who could help her get a scholarship. Sasha immediately gets excited and starts thinking that maybe her life is finally about to change. But Zelly's mother tells her not to thank her yet, because everything depends on Zelly. If the little girl likes her and she stays instead of disappearing like the last nanny, then she can consider herself already accepted into that university. She also mentions that the previous nanny vanished suddenly without saying a word. After she leaves, Sasha starts picking up the toys scattered around the house, but Zelly keeps staring at her with a creepy look and refuses to listen. Sasha takes her inside to make her something to eat, but she does not notice that Zelly has opened her bag. The moment Zelly grabs the candy, Sasha snatches it away, because the little girl has a serious allergy. After that, the two talk for a while, and Zelly thanks her, saying that she is nothing like her mother because her mother is always too busy for her. Sasha tells her that she can always come to her if she needs anything. Then Zelly says that she left one of her dolls outside in the playground and asks Sasha to come with her to get it. At first, Sasha refuses because Zelly's mother told her never to leave the house. But after a lot of begging, she finally gives in and says they will go quickly and come right back. They head to the playground, where all the other children are happily playing. Zelly points at the slide and says her doll is at the top, then climbs up to get it. Sasha sits on a bench and calls Zelly's mother to reassure her that everything is fine. But then she notices something strange. None of the children there are with their parents. Then she spots an envelope lying on the ground with the words, "To Leraz, the best nanny in the world." Now she starts getting nervous. She calls for Zelly, but the girl refuses to come down and says she wants to keep playing. So Sasha climbs into the slide after her, but when she gets inside, Zelly is gone. Sasha becomes even more terrified when she sees the other children sliding down normally from the exact same slide, while Zelly has completely disappeared. She searches everywhere until she finds Zelly's doll hanging in a strange way. Then she asks one of the girls if she has seen Zelly, but there is something very wrong with the child. Suddenly, all the children freeze in place, then slowly turn and stare at Sasha at the exact same time. Sasha tells them she does not want anything from them, but they keep moving closer as if someone is controlling them. Then their movements change completely. They drop to the ground and start crawling toward her in a terrifying way. Sasha panics and runs as fast as she can, not knowing where Zelly has gone. But the strange thing is that the second she leaves the playground, all the children go back to acting normal as if nothing happened. Sasha starts wondering if she is the one going crazy. Then she finds a message from Zelly, asking her to come back and get her from the slide. Sasha is forced to return, and then she receives a voice message from Zelly. The girl sounds terrified, and her voice keeps cutting out. Sasha's fear only gets worse. She tries to convince herself that they are just children, then goes back to the creepy slide. This time, she really can hear Zelly's voice coming from inside it. But suddenly all the children transform again, standing still while singing in a strange and unsettling way. At that exact moment, Sasha feels someone grab her and pull her away. Suddenly the children go back to normal. She turns around and discovers that it was the previous nanny who dragged her out. The woman warns her that she has to leave this place immediately because something horrible lives here, something that swallows nannies like them. But Sasha does not believe her. This job means too much to her. Then she hears Zelly calling her while sitting on the ground nearby. The nanny begs Sasha not to go near her and to run away instead, but Sasha ignores her and rushes over to Zelly. She asks why she disappeared, and Zelly calmly says that she never disappeared at all, that she was the one looking for Sasha. Sasha takes her back to the house and locks her in a room, sitting her down on the couch. But only a few moments later, she is shocked to find Zelly somehow back outside at the playground again. Sasha stares at her in confusion and asks how she got out when there is no door leading there. But Zelly does not answer. Instead, she asks Sasha if she is going to stay or leave. When Sasha says that she is staying, Zelly smiles and says, "That is good, because if she leaves, she will tell her mother that Sasha abandoned her." Sasha gets angry and says that when her mother gets home, she is going to tell her the truth. But then Zelly says something that terrifies her. "Just promise me you won't leave like the others." Sasha freezes and asks, "What others? How many nannies were there before me?" Sasha goes to open the envelope, but inside, she only finds a message from Zelly's mother checking on them. Sasha replies that everything is fine. A moment later, Zelly runs up to her and says she does not feel well. Sasha notices a strange bandage on her face, and when she pulls it off, she is horrified. Zelly's face suddenly looks exactly like the girl from the playground, and a strange, yellow liquid starts leaking from her skin. Sasha tries to understand what is happening and moves closer to help her. But then everything suddenly disappears. Zelly's face goes back to normal, and she calmly says she is fine. At this point, Sasha feels like she is losing her mind. Then there is a knock at the door. She checks the camera and sees two little boys standing outside. At first, she thinks they are scouts or neighborhood kids, so she does not open the door. But then, they start pounding on it violently. Terrified, Sasha grabs Zelly and takes her upstairs, then video calls Marco and begs him to come help her because something horrible is happening in the house. But Marco does not believe her. He jokes that one day with rich kids has already made her lose it. When she tells him about the slide, he says he works right near the playground and has not seen anything strange. Sasha begs him to stay away from the place, but he thinks she is falling back into her old problems. She tells him that she has been fine for over a year and that this is completely different. Just as he promises to come, the call cuts out. A few moments later, Sasha is horrified to see Zelly outside, playing with the exact same two boys. She has no idea how they got into the house or how Zelly got out. Then suddenly, all three children collapse to the ground in a disturbing way. Sasha tries to grab Zelly and drag her back inside, but the hole in the yard suddenly starts moving like it is alive. She cannot pull Zelly away. Then she falls, and the three children attack her, trying to drag her toward the hole. When Sasha looks down, she realizes there is an opening underneath leading deep underground. Somehow, she manages to escape them. But just as she is about to run away from the house, Zelly's mother appears in front of her and locks the door. Sasha demands to know what is happening. The woman looks at the marks Zelly left on her and then calmly tells her that if she wants that scholarship, she must never tell anyone what happened. She even tries to comfort her, saying that she already made a huge sacrifice by letting the twins play with Zelly, because dealing with Zelly alone was hard enough. Furious, Sasha tells her to stay away from her, her daughter, and her house. Then Zelly's mother walks over to talk to her daughter, but the second she sees her, the look on her face changes completely. Sasha becomes even more terrified. She grabs the key, takes her bag, and runs out of the house. Outside, she completely breaks down. She wipes the tears from her face and starts eating some of the candy her father packed for her, trying desperately to calm herself down. At the same time, Marco and his friend are working outside, and his friend keeps pouring something from his bottle into the pesticide they are spraying, joking that the ground is about to come alive. A little later, they see Sasha running toward them. Marco pulls her into the car, and she starts telling them everything that happened. But as usual, nobody believes her. Instead, Marco gets angry and says that the first time she tries to do something useful with her life, she comes back with this disaster. He keeps blaming her, saying she is not responsible enough and that she is supposed to be working to save money for college because their father cannot afford it. Sasha snaps back and says that the woman with the red car warned her, but she did not believe her. Then she tells him that he does not care about her or what happened to her. Marco suddenly takes a checkbook out of the car and gives it to her. He tells her that he has been working for her this whole time and that every dollar he saved was going into an account with her name on it so she could go to the university she dreams of. He admits that he never wanted her to work for anyone in the first place and says that he cares about her more than she cares about herself. Sasha is touched by what he says and thanks him. Marco tells her to stay in the car until he finishes working. But then Sasha looks toward the playground and sees the children again. Terrified, she starts honking the horn and screaming for him to hurry. Then, right in front of her eyes, the entire playground disappears. She calls Marco over, and when he sees it too, he is finally forced to admit that she was telling the truth. But the worst part is that the playground suddenly reappears in the same place, and Marco's friend is still trapped inside. Before they can reach him, one of the rides crashes down on him. Marco tries to save him, but instead he gets pulled into the slide as well. He follows him inside and is horrified by what he sees. His friend is dragged farther away, while Marco freezes in place. Then he sees a girl walking toward him while singing in a creepy voice. Luckily, Sasha manages to grab him and pull him back out. When she says they need to leave, Marco refuses to go without his friend's body, but Sasha convinces him that they have to call the police before they both end up dead too. Just as they are about to leave, they hear Zelly calling Sasha from the swing set. Sasha freezes. Then suddenly, the swing appears right in front of her and pulls her straight into the slide. Marco tries to grab her, but he cannot reach her in time. He keeps screaming her name like he has lost his mind. Then he tries to call the police, but his phone is dead. Furious and desperate, he sees a woman walking nearby and asks to use her phone. She gets scared and almost calls security, so Marco apologizes and leaves. He goes back to the car and tries to treat his injured leg. A few moments later, he sees a woman driving a red car and remembers the woman Sasha told him about. He grabs the checkbook and follows her until he reaches her house, which is covered in traps around the front door. When she comes outside, Marco tells her that he needs her help and explains everything that happened. The woman says she warned Sasha from the beginning, but no one listened. She tells him that his sister is gone and that he will never get her back, but Marco refuses to accept that and says his sister never gives up. He keeps begging her until she finally explains what is going on. She pulls out a cloth with a map drawn on it and tells him that all the red spots are trap locations. Then she explains that there is some kind of creature living underground. It swallows people like them and makes the children lose consciousness. Then it uses them in their sleep to lure more people in before returning them to normal, like nothing ever happened. She explains that every time one trap disappears, another one appears somewhere else, usually near nannies, gardeners, or anyone poor and easy to target. She says the creature is like a giant ant colony living beneath the tunnels, controlling all the children at once as if they share the same mind. Suddenly she hears a sound outside and is shocked to see that a new trap has appeared in the yard where Marco works. She rushes back into the house. When Marco asks why she still lives there if she knows all this, she tells him that the creature was under the ground long before the neighborhood was ever built. She has been working for rich families as a nanny for 40 years. and her friend Marble was the first person the creature ever took. Ever since then, she has stayed behind to warn new nannies to run away before it is too late. But every summer, Boral Grove gets bigger, more people move in, and they need more nannies. So Marco asks why she never left. She tells him that she cannot leave Marble behind. Then Marco asks if there is any way to get inside and save Sasha. The woman angrily reminds him that she already said his sister is not coming back, and that she has spent 40 years waiting for Marble, even though she never returned. But Marco refuses to give up. He takes the map and heads to the new trap. He ties a rope to the swing, and then, around himself, opens a hole beneath the swimming pool and climbs down. What he finds below shocks him. There is an entire world underground. It is filled with people, but none of them are conscious. Something is controlling them and moving them around. Marco searches through the place until he finally finds Sasha inside a small house, but she is completely out of it. He sits beside her and tells her that she is strong, that he knows she is still fighting to come back. Then he gives her bag back to her, hoping it will help. When he opens it, the candy falls out. He notices that the candy is melting through the plastic, and then he reads the words written on the bag. "A little sugar keeps you balanced." Suddenly, he gets an idea. He throws a piece of candy at Sasha, and it actually works. She comes back to her senses. When she realizes that Marco came all the way down there to save her, she hugs him, but then they hear a strange sound and realize that another trap is about to appear, which means they have to get out through the same hole before it disappears. Marco grabs Sasha and runs, but instead of escaping, they fall into an even deeper pit. Even worse, all the people who were unconscious begin surrounding them. Marco is ready to fight them, but Sasha stops him and says they are not in control of themselves and should not be hurt. Marco tells her to get out first while he holds them back. As she moves through the crowd, she sees a woman chained to the wall. It is the same woman who is controlling the children outside. When Marco sees her, he realizes that she is Marbelle, the first victim the creature ever took. Sasha tries talking to her, and when she says her name, Marble calms down. At that same moment, the children attacking Marco stop moving. Marco grabs Sasha and tries to pull her away, but she says Marble is still alive and that they have to help her. Marco tells her that this is not the time and that once they get out, they can call for help. They finally make it back to the exit, but then Sasha stops and says she is not leaving all those people behind. She says she was just like them only moments ago, and if there are still people alive down there, then they have to save them. Marco argues that he already risked his life for her and cannot save everyone, but Sasha insists that this place is only going to keep growing. More people will come here dreaming of jobs like this, and they will end up trapped the same way. Then Sasha leaves Marco and runs back toward the underground entrance, but by the time she gets there, the hole has already closed. A moment later, Marco catches up to her and says he is not going to let her do this alone. He tells her that he knows someone who can help them, and he takes her back to the same woman. The woman is shocked to see that Sasha is still alive, and when Sasha tells her that she saw Marble and that she is still alive too, the woman can hardly believe it. Then Marco calls her over and says that he found the map. Frances steps out from behind them and shows Sasha an old picture of Marble. She explains that the day Marble disappeared, she had been covering Frances's shift, which means Frances was supposed to be the one taken instead. That is why she has spent all these years drowning in guilt and unable to leave. But now, she finally decides to help them. The three of them gather every bit of sugar they can find in the house and grind it together. Frances explains that if they burn all the traps, everyone trapped underground will wake up. Marco asks if the people living in the neighborhood know what is happening, and Frances tells him that most of them were children when the creature first took control of them, so they have spent their entire lives under its influence. After that, each of them grabs a bucket of sugar and heads toward a different trap, but Sasha has the worst luck. Zelly's mother appears and calls out to her, saying that she should apologize before she sees her other face. Sasha gets angry and tells Zelly that she is sorry her mother never cared about her, and that she cannot handle seeing any more terrifying faces. But when she reaches the slide, she is shocked to find Zelly standing there. Sasha tells her mother that she knows what she has been doing to her daughter. Then suddenly, Zelly's mother starts transforming, and not just her. Every parent in the neighborhood begins changing too. Huge, creepy smiles spread across their faces as they start singing and slowly walking toward Sasha. Terrified, she hides between the metal playground equipment, but nothing stops them. At the last second, Marco and Francis arrive with the sugar, and everyone drops to the ground. Marco grabs Sasha's hand and tells her to run, but she says she never got the chance to throw the sugar into the slide. Marco tells her it does not matter because they destroyed all the other traps, but Sasha refuses to leave. She says the slide is the source of everything. The hive mind controlling everyone is still inside it. Suddenly, all the parents wake up again, and this time each one grabs a metal pipe. Francis is attacked by the woman she used to work for, and soon all of them are surrounded. One by one, the people grab them while chanting that they belong to Boral Grove now and will never leave. Marco looks at Sasha and apologizes because he thinks he has failed to protect her. But then he suddenly remembers the sweet drink his friend spilled into the pesticide earlier. He quickly tells Sasha, and she immediately uses it. Zelly and her mother back away from her, and the others collapse to the ground again. Sasha runs back to Marco, but when she sees everyone starting to get up once more, she leaves him and runs straight toward the slide. Then she pours the entire pesticide mixture into it. Finally, the slide catches fire and burns. After that, all the people trapped underground begin climbing out of the holes. Marble finally comes out of the slide too, but like everyone else, she remembers nothing about what happened or where she has been. Frances bursts into tears when she sees her, even though Marble does not recognize her. In the end, they manage to free the town from the creature that had controlled it for all those years. Sasha drives away with Marco and Francis, and after everything she went through, it is safe to say she will never go near another playground again. She probably will not work as a nanny ever again either, and honestly, she might not even want to go to college anymore.